afternoon, bringing you the very latest from the studios in Colombo. This is News First Lunchtime News with me, Punshani Edrisingha. Let's start off with a look at your headlines. Suicide jacket found in Katragama. UMP says it will support the implementation of the recommendations made in the LLRC report. EU leaders approve a permanent $661 billion bailout fund to help rescue the continent's debt-ridden countries. Taking a look at the stories in detail now. A suicide jacket has been found at a holiday resort in Katragama this morning. Police media spokesperson SP Ajit Rohana said that investigations have been launched to ascertain if there is live ammunition as well. He went on to say that the owners of the resort are also being questioned in this regard. Our correspondent in the area noted that the bomb disposal squad had been called in to defuse the explosive device. The jacket was found inside a storeroom at the resort. The Katragama police are conducting investigations. The Sri Lanka Sustainable Energy Authority says that a loss of 3,100 million rupees is incurred owing to the wastage of electricity in factories and large-scale businesses. Director of the authority, Ranjit Padmasiri, pointed out that 15% of energy is wasted at most of these places on a daily basis.
Director of the Sri Lanka Sustainable Energy Authority, Ranjit Padmasiri, said that a special program will be implemented to minimize this wastage. Thereby, it will be made compulsory to appoint an energy manager for every factory. Padmasiri noted that relevant regulations in this regard have already been approved, that a concession period will be granted for businesses to appoint an energy manager by the end of next month. The Sri Lankan Sustainable Energy Authority noted that these individuals will be provided training in this regard.
The police says that it is illegal to modify vehicles in a manner that would pose a danger to its users and others. Police media spokesperson SP Ajit Rohana said that legal action can be taken against the owners of such vehicles. He went on to say that some vehicles had been modified in a manner that posed a danger to its users and others. In more local news, Minister of Private Transport Services CB Ratnayaka says that the country's national identity can be protected by changing according to the times. He expressed this view at an event held in Anuradhapura yesterday.
When I contested from the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, I had to contest with Minister S.B. Disanayake. We both made it to Parliament. Once I reminded him that when he was in university, the Students' Union was engaged in a struggle. He spoke about the economically challenged class. Because of this struggle, at least some of the universities had an extended life. I asked him what he thinks about it now. Then he told me that we should change according to the times. He said people like Vimal Veerabangsa, who once spoke for the working class, are today speaking for the capitalist class and working for their betterment. Why is it that we don't understand the reality of this? We can move forward with our heritage, our strength, our technology, our identity, and by safeguarding our culture.
The minister was speaking at an event held at the Anuradhapura private bus stop to commence a special project under the National Transport Commission and the North Central Province Passenger Transport Authority in view of the 2012 Theatrical exhibition.
UMP General Secretary Thisatha Nayaka says that the United National Party will support the implementation of the recommendations made in the Lessons Learned and Reconciliation Commission report.
Sri Lankavata විරුද්ධව එක්සත් ජාතීන්ගේ මහලේකම්වරයා පත් කරපු කමිටුව වාර්තාවක් දරුෂ්මාන් වාර්තාව කියලා එළියට ආවා.
A report compiled by a committee appointed by the United Nations General Secretary on Sri Lanka, also known as the Darusman report, was published recently. The government of Sri Lanka said that it will not accept the recommendations made in that report, and the LLRC was appointed. Now they have cast aside the LLRC report as well. Rather than implementing the recommendations made by the government's own commission, it has cast aside that report too and brought forward a proposal to appoint a select committee. We wish to ask as to what the government is preparing to do. The government has to direct its attention towards implementing the recommendations made by the LLRC report. As the United National Party, we are prepared to offer our support, if it is needed, to discuss the measures that should be taken to implement the recommendations made in the LLRC report.
ගතයුතු ක්‍රියාමාර්ග සාකච්ඡා කර ගන්න තිබෙනවා නම් අපි ලෑස්ති එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයේ හැටියට එවැනි ඵලදායී ක්‍රියාදාමයකට සම්බන්ධ වෙන්න.
Two persons who allegedly appeared as members of the Presidential Security Division have been arrested in the Galkiriyagama area. Police media spokesperson SP Ajit Rohana noted that a vehicle was also seized. He said that they will be produced before the Kakirava magistrate today. Taking a look at another local story now. The all-island trade union action carried out by the Wildlife Guards Union over several demands, including the addressing of salary anomalies, continued for the fifth day today. Meanwhile, the Minister of Wildlife and Agrarian Services said that steps have been taken to resolve this issue.
Wildlife officials engaged in this trade union action on the 27th of this month, urging that solutions be provided to their demands. The Secretary to the Ministry, Udayani Wickramasinghe, noted that proposals to resolve the issues faced by the wildlife guards have already been forwarded to the Public Service Commission. Meanwhile, the President of the All Ceylon Wildlife Guards Union said that if their demands are not met, they will have to intensify their trade union action.
Doctors serving in local government hospitals in the Colombo district have begun a token strike. Assistant Secretary of the Government Medical Officers Association, Dr. Nalin Aryaratna, said the strike was being conducted to protest against the non-payment of the telephone allowances.
There is a trade union action which is going in Colombo district. It's a token trade union action due to non-payment of a telephone allowance which have been approved for so many months. Now it is an essential allowance that had been proposed to government medical officers due to commitment of the job actually. Lots of disappointment. Now we had several meetings with these authorities pertaining to this allowance, but we had not a solution from them. So because of that, with lots of hesitation, we are going for a trade union action. Actually, this is proposed and this is conducted by the branch union Colombo district. And in fact, we thought this would not continue because they would understand certainly the importance of this allowance to the medical officers, and we believe that the authorities will, today itself they will approve this and they will basically go ahead with the necessary procedures to pay these allowance for the medical officers.
The District Disaster Management Centre notes that the fire which broke out in the Moneragala Mountains in Moneragala has been brought under control. Assistant Director of the Centre, K.H. Ravindra Kumar, said that around 10 acres of land have been destroyed by the fire.
The fire broke out last evening in close proximity to the peak of the Moneragala Mountains in Moneragala. Assistant Director of the District Disaster Management Centre, K.H. Ravindra Kumar, noted that the fire had spread owing to the dry weather conditions in the area. The source of the fire is yet to be ascertained. Ravindra Kumar noted that there was no casualties as the area was thinly populated.
Time now to take a look at some sports news. The third one-day encounter between the Sri Lanka A team and the visiting England A team is currently underway at the Velagedara Stadium in Kurunagala. The England A team won the toss and decided to bat first. A short while ago, there were 173 runs for the loss of 4 wickets in 34 overs. And that's the end of our lunchtime news today. Have a wonderful day ahead.